So, good morning, everybody. This is exciting. So, today I'm going to be joined by the really empowering boudoir photographer, Helen Booth at Mass Photography. Really excited to have a great conversation with her today, all around body confidence. And when we talk about body confidence, I don't mean about how we can change our bodies, it's more about how we can change our mindset. And the exciting thing today is, for the first time, we are streaming in my Step Out of the Facebook group. We're also streaming live in Helen's Behind the Mask group, and we are streaming to live in my YouTube channel. So that's a really exciting thing that I've not done before. So I am going to introduce Helen to the group without further ado. Good morning, lovely. Good morning. Well, this is exciting, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's hope it's working. I was like, yes, let's do it in our group, your group, let's do it all.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect. And I'm so glad that we can have this conversation, because you and I have got a lot to say about it, haven't we? It's something we're both really passionate about. Good morning. With StreamYard as well, whilst I put this reminder out before we get started, unless you give permission on StreamYard to show your name, it won't actually show us, Helen and I, who we're talking to. It'll just come up with your comments. So quickly go and do that so that we know who's on live, so we can say hello to you. But hello, ladies, whoever it is, thank you very much for joining us this morning. So if anyone that doesn't know me, my name is Rachel Peru. I'm a professional silver-haired curve model. I've been modelling for 6 years now, since I was just before my 47th birthday. So I am a body confidence advocate, and I host the Out of the Bubble podcast. And basically everything I do is around championing women in midlife to be the best versions of themselves and to really encourage them to feel more body confident. So, Helen, what about you? How do you introduce yourself to people?
My name's Helen Booth. I've been doing boudoir photography for 13 years now. I absolutely love working with women and making them feel really good about themselves and their body, and just having an experience with them that lifts them, how they feel about themselves in general. And, you know, the photographs and the creativity of all that, I just love it. So I can't stop it.
Well, you and I've worked together on several shoots, and we've always had an amazing time, and I've always come away feeling so empowered. Even though it's something I do as a living, I just get such a boost from working you. So we're a dream team. I'm really excited about our exciting project that we're working on. But before we share that, you and I, it's interesting because you and I both come from slightly different angles when it comes to our own body confidence stories. Because I really struggled with my body confidence up until my 40s, really. And it wasn't until I reached 40 and I got divorced that I started this new journey of learning to love myself for what I was. And, you know, I suffered with bulimia several times in my life. I really stopped myself from doing so many things because I would weigh myself every day. I felt uncomfortable with my body. And so I can see how that really held me back, which is why I think I'm so passionate about making sure that I can reach other women so that they don't keep their life on hold, waiting to lose that dress size, waiting to lose that weight. But you come from a different place because you've never really experienced that, which is amazing, I think.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's really difficult to explain. I've just never paid that much attention to how I look. I've always just thought it was fairly irrelevant. I've never judged anybody else for it. And, you know, I'm all right looking, you know. I'm not like the prettiest girl in the room. I'm not the ugliest girl. I'm just all right. And I'm quite happy with that. I never have really had an experience where anybody's knocked me, which I think obviously has been really helpful. I've had, like, my parents, especially my mum, never commented on how I looked ever. You know, it wasn't a thing that she ever mentioned, and she never certainly, what's the word? She never criticised herself either. She was really open about it, and she'd made a positive decision when she had me that she would be open and natural around me to make bodies not a thing, because her mum was really closed off to that in that era. You know, they didn't, it was very, you know, keep yourself, wasn't it? You know, back then. So I think that decision from her to switch that had a big influence on me. That, you know, if I walked in with her without a top on, she didn't flinch.
Yes.
It was just normal.
That makes such a big difference.
Yeah. She never did anything, like, it was never even a theme for me growing up. So Yeah, and then I've had supportive boyfriends and husbands who've never criticised or body shamed me. You know, I've not had that, and or friends even, I suppose. So I think that's probably why I've been able to kind of keep above the,
Yeah.
you know,
And not let all that negativity in, which so many people will be
yeah,
listening to thinking, oh God, I wish I'd got to that place. Because to me, body confidence isn't about that you have to love yourself all the time and you're fantastic. It's about getting to a place of accepting your body and just getting on with life without having to even
yeah,
think about it every day. That to me is what body confidence is about.
yeah. I mean, like, I know I'm really white. I've always thought I've got long legs with knobbly knees, and I just don't care. That's me. I've got,
Yeah.
I can't change it. I'm never going to be brown. You know, that's me. Let's just
Yeah.
crack on. Like you say,
Yeah.
it's like a body acceptance, isn't it? And
It is, because there's a lot of pressure, I think, when people talk about body confidence and the body positive movement. Whilst it's definitely lifted the conversation, it's also put a bit more extra pressure on people, because there's that tendency to think that unless you absolutely love your body 100% all the time, then you're doing
yeah,
something wrong and you're failing in life. And that's just impossible. It's not
yeah,
realistic. I do not wake up every morning looking at myself thinking, wow, my body's amazing. I have days when I just think, oh, for God's sake, this menopause malarkey is a load of pants, and I could be more toned and I could be this and that and the other. But it's how you deal with that, and how quickly you can let go of those thoughts that makes a big difference about body acceptance, as opposed to that push on, yes, I've got to love myself all the time.
I just think if you know you can get yourself to a place where you think, oh, I'm pretty shit hot, you can do that when you want to. You don't have to
Yeah,
be that all the time, and you can't be that all the time. You don't all walk around with makeup artists and hairstylists and, you know, beautiful clothes every single day. You don't want to be, but if you know
yeah,
that you've got that, and for me, you know, if you've got the photos that as well that remind you that you're bloody
exactly.
hot, then
Yeah,
you know that that's always there. It's like in you, that it's available to you, and you can pull on that if you need it. And other
yeah.
times, well, let it go.
So is that what drew you to doing boudoir photography?
I was doing something really boring and photographing products and new store openings for a big company, and it was a very male dominated industry. It was yeah, tools and batteries and computer parts, so it was really, really dull. So to leave work and think, what can I do now? What do I need? And for me, I needed company, female company,
Mm.
and some creativity. So when I first started doing it, I did it based on what I wanted, firstly.
Yeah.
Then, when I had my friends come in and they were like, oh my God, Helen, this is so much fun. And I was like, isn't it? And then like, oh, so you've really liked this and now you feel really good. So that's like another layer on top of the
Yeah.
satisfaction, job satisfaction that I have, that's kind of made it just, I suppose, a dream job, really.
And what kind of reaction have you seen? Because obviously not all women come in feeling super confident when they come to you. A lot of the time they're quite nervous and don't know what to expect. What differences do you see at the beginning of a shoot to the end when they're walking out the door? It must be quite a big transformation in a short space of time.
I suppose because there's a bit of like anticipation and like a bit of nervous excitement for most people, and like on varying degrees, like, but it's from that, and you can kind of see the body language. Like I've taken some before pictures, and like they're a little bit like this, like, oh, where am I? What am I doing? Who's this woman? And then once you kind of got into the process and you've got into your first outfit and I've shown you the photographs, hopefully you've gone, okay, I look pretty good here. You've had your makeup done, you get a little bit more confidence. And then we just free for all. I'm a bit of a freestyler in terms of we'll just play it by ear and, you know, vibe off each other, I suppose. And then by the end, it's just like, it's that kind
Yeah.
of like you've gone through, you've pushed through the fear, you've done something a little bit out of your comfort zone that you wouldn't normally do. And that's where the exhilaration kind of comes after
Yes.
that, when you've done something like that and you've proven to yourself, yes, I can do something that's for me,
Yeah.
and is, you know, worth weight in gold, really, because they walk out the door and they tell me like they were singing all the way home in the car. They can't believe what they've just done, and
Yeah.
you know, they've told everybody they've known, like everybody they've seen. They're like, "Guess what I've done today?" And
I love
it's
that. It's
really,
so empowering, and hopefully it makes them think, okay, what can I do next
yeah,
after doing something
exactly.
like
It's
that?
like got a ripple effect to
Yeah.
everybody around them as well, you know, and you know, also their children, if they've got children, they're
Yeah,
passing
that's
on that.
well, exactly. It's like you talking about your attitude from your mum, how, that's
Mm,
very different to my experience. And my mum was very closed off and very kind of almost embarrassed about her body. And so I grew up thinking that I would probably be embarrassed about my body too. And it's just a generational thing. I don't blame her for it. It's all she was taught from her parents. And I think lots of women can relate to that. And we're now, I think our generation are breaking that cycle. We're
yeah, I think we
passing on
are.
to our kids that positive message that just embrace what you've got. We are all different, and there's so much beauty in that. But it is creating that ripple effect. And when someone comes to you, again, it's creating that ripple effect to other people and their children.
Yeah, I love that about it. Just
So, what kind of top 3 tips would you give to women that are coming and are perhaps nervous about getting in front of a camera? What do you often give them that would give their confidence a boost?
I would say if you're coming to see me, just set yourself up for success. I give tips along the lines of make sure you go to bed early, get a good night's sleep, know where you're coming, get your sat nav ready, know how long it's going to take, where you're going to park. I send all that information out. Make sure you've packed in plenty of time and you're happy with your outfits, things like that. So, you're all settled and there's nothing that's going to kind of stress you out on the day, to keep your nerves and anxiety down as much as
Yeah.
possible. And you can also talk to me before if there's anything niggling you or you've got some questions you want answering. So I'd suggest speaking to me if you have any things that are on your mind, so that you come in feeling really calm. Number 2, just try and give yourself permission to have fun with me and just go with the flow and enjoy it. And it's easier said than done to relax, but I will help you. So I suppose my 3rd tip would be like, just trust me, because I'll
Yes.
lead you through it all, and I'll hopefully you'll feel really comfortable with myself and my makeup artist. And everything I'm doing is to make you feel at home, feel comfortable, feel relaxed in front of the camera, because it comes across in your images 100% for
Mm.
me if you feel relaxed. And I will guide you through it all, so that hopefully you don't feel ever that you're a fish. Is it called a fish out of water? A cat? Oh gosh, I'm not good at the
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Heidi's just
My
commented saying
tips.
body confidence starts at an early age, and it really
Mm,
does. It starts at such a young age. I think we should be having conversations like this in schools. I think it should be something that
yeah.
it's part of the curriculum, because it's so important that we get that message out there. But I would say about that, I didn't find mine until I was in my 40s, so it's never too late to change that
Yes.
mindset. And I think that's the
100%.
important thing to remember here, that we don't have to be a product of our past generation. We can change the narrative, and we can learn and empower ourselves by changing that message.
Yes. I was going to ask you what your 3 tips were as well, but I did think of one more just as I was going to ask
Yes,
you.
sure.
And that was to get a lingerie fitting, because if
Yeah,
you know that something fits well and you know how to get into it, that's fantastic for my shoots that I do. And I
yeah,
also have Natalie from Lucy May Lingerie, who comes to some of the sessions. If you book the full day session, she's involved at the beginning and she'll fit you. And to have that confidence and support from her at the beginning is invaluable, really.
yeah.
So, yeah, I know you might
Brilliant.
say something similar, but I will ask you, what are your 3 tips as well, Rachel?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's hard to know where to start. But one of my key tips, that one of the things that was a real game changer for me, was ditching the weighing scales. I was so controlled in my whole, from being 14, 15 to being up to 40. I practically weighed myself every single day. And it was such an unhealthy habit to get into. And it literally would dictate my mood of the day. If I put on 2 pounds, I would feel crap about myself. If I lost 2 pounds, I would then have a boost, only to come down the next day. And it was a never end. It was like being on a treadmill that you could never get off. And when you're in that process, you don't even think about it, it just becomes part of your life. But when you can manage to step away from it, you can realize that we are so much more than a number on a scales and a dress size. And that to me was a really important step for me to forget about all that and to be the best version of myself. And that is not dictated to by a number. I know that I'm healthy. I know that I'm strong. I know that I can do the things that I love doing. I do not need to be defined or compared to another woman because of my number on the scales. So that was something that was a big part of my kind of transformation, really. I would also say I would write a list. I'm a big journal person. I like writing. So if I am struggling and I'm having a wobble, I write down things that I'm grateful for my body for. So I write a list of 10 things that I can look at my body over the years and say thank you for. So for me, before I had 3 kids, I had 3 miscarriages. So my body's actually been pregnant 6 times. And it still survived. It still bounced back. It's still, all the hormones were all over the place and then carried on as normal. I think exactly like Heidi's just said, I think we need to honour our body for all it's been through and how awesome it is, because it's carried us through so much. I went through divorce at 40. That's a minefield in itself. And it still got me up out of bed every morning and carried me through the day and takes me for long walks and was there for me. And I think having that appreciation for our bodies and accepting it for where it is right now can really help you forget about the negative stuff, because we've all got stuff that we don't like and we want to change. But knowing that we are good enough just as we are right now in this place and accepting that, I think, is important. What else would I say? I would also say be brave. Start saying yes to things. Because one of the other things that I really stopped myself from doing so many things, because I would be waiting to reach a certain dress size. I would be waiting until I'd lost weight before I started doing something. I wouldn't do something because I would be worried about what I'd look like in sports clothes or if my boobs were going to jiggle about too much. And you've got to say yes to stuff and start doing things. And actually the biggest shift for me in my confidence building was nothing to do with all the body stuff. It was about being involved in life and traveling and taking on new opportunities, things that I'd never done before. Yeah. And then the more I enjoyed life, the less I worried about what my body looked like, because I was just doing stuff and my body was just part of that. And that's what you were saying at the beginning, isn't it? About how the fact that you don't think about your body, you're just getting on with life and accepting it. And that's the sweet spot. I think that's the place where that makes the biggest difference, if you can get to that point. So be brave, step out of your comfort zone, say yes to things, stop putting it off, and just get out there and do it. And like you said as well, another thing for me was lingerie. I never thought when I started modelling that I would be doing lingerie modelling. I never thought I would have the confidence to do it, or even in my 40s and 50s be asked or wanted to be seen. And
I'd love it.
Yeah, love doing it. It's actually now my favourite jobs to do. I absolutely love it. It's empowering, it's freeing. And perhaps because I've struggled to get to this place, it means a lot to me that I can do that, because I find it really totally liberating that I can represent older women in lingerie, because it's so important to be seen. But having that well-fitted lingerie that makes you feel good, whatever makes you feel sexy. And when we say lingerie, you always think about like all the fancy frilly stuff, but actually it's just wearing decent underwear. If you feel really strong and powerful in a great, amazing fitted sports bra and knickers, that's your thing. That's your body confidence tip. Stick to that. You don't have to compare yourself to somebody else that might want to wear bright red lacy lingerie. There's no right or wrong way. And I think it's about recognizing that as well, that you've, as long as it's good fitting and you feel good in it, when you walk out the door, it can make such a big difference to your day.
Yeah, nobody knows either, do they? It's underneath. It just gives you that confidence, I think.
Yeah,
it's, you've got something really old. It's sort of there's a clip missing at the back, and your undies aren't really white anymore. You're not going to feel like great, are you?
No. When I got divorced, I was 40, and I had never really invested in nice lingerie, because I think quite a lot of women don't put themselves first. They don't invest in themselves. It was always about spending money on the kids and making sure everybody else was all right. And I started, after I got divorced, buying myself a new set of lingerie every month for a year. That was my treat. That was my thing.
Wow.
So I actually went to Bravissimo, I got fitted, and it came in the post. Didn't matter if no one else was going to see it. It was about me. And it was about me saying yes to my body and saying, my body deserves something really nice on its skin. It's what I wear. It's the closest thing you wear to your body all day, every day. So why not treat it with some love? And that was a really nice thing to do. It was quite extravagant, and obviously I didn't carry on doing that every month. But for that first year, it was a really important part of me reconnecting with my body, I think.
And like saying to yourself, I am worthy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't you think? You know, it's like reaffirming that, and like, I can have nice things and I deserve it, and this is good for me. I don't care about anybody else. This is good for me.
Yeah. Heidi's asking Helen, how do you choose the style and theme of the shoot?
Well, I do boudoir in general, and that can be, there's loads of different expressions of that, you know, like dark and moody, or like soft and feminine. And people come to me with images sometimes and say, I really like this, or they'll say, I like this person's images on your website. And I get quite a good inkling by the kind of outfits they've brought. So I can tell, you know, if it's got load of straps and like buckles, we're going to go down a sexier route. And obviously I speak to my clients and say, what do you think about if we did this? I was thinking about this. And while they're having their makeup done, I kind of come up with some ideas, have a little search through my prop drawer and suggest some little things. If they, you know, throw in some little things they can do with their hands, or I don't know, whatever I've got, and just get a gist when I ask them, what does this inspire you? Does this inspire you? Right, we'll do this, this, and this. Are you happy with that? Yes, let's go.
And another question, do you work with pregnant women?
Oh, I should have had a pregnant lady come this morning with her, not pregnant anymore, with her baby now, because we did a pregnant shoot just before Christmas. She's had the baby, she's coming back now to have a look at her images. So yes, and we kind of actually did a bit more boudoir-y style. I've done kind of more natural, kind of more traditional, but this lady, her husband wanted some sexier ones. So we did this really cool thing with like a patterned lace tights up and over the bump. And she was sat on a stool and she had heels on and, you know, covering herself. I can't remember, she might have had a bra on, we might have mixed it up, I can't remember. So yes, I do. And they are so wonderful.
Somebody else has talked about lingerie, saying a beautiful, well-fitting, quality bra is essential and makes you feel so good. Bravissimo all the way. I'm a G cup, so am I. And it's a nightmare carrying them around. You're so right, Rachel. Why would you put something awful against your skin? You don't put cheap body cream on your body.
Absolutely love that.
Yeah. And one more question for you, Helen, before we start talking about the workshop. What about couples? Do you work with couples, or do you just work with women?
I used to advertise that I worked with couples, because I do, and I have, but I don't advertise it anymore. But I do it because a lot of my customers will come back to me and say, I really like to come back. Can I bring my partner? And I'm like, let's do it. So that's really nice. So yes, I do.
And I am so excited that we've been talking about doing something together, haven't we, for a while now? And obviously with lockdown and everything, things change. But I'm so excited that we're doing this body confidence workshop day together. It's going to be such an empowering day. So I wanted to share a little bit about what people can expect from working with us both together. So in the morning, I am going to be hosting some body confidence workshops, and we're keeping the numbers really small, so there'll only be 8 women maximum, and we want to create a really safe space for you to share how you're feeling about your body, and also to explore why we are left feeling the way we do, because it's a lot of garbage that has been thrown at us over the years from the diet industry, from advertising and media, basically all the people that make a lot of money from our own insecurities. So how can we put tools into our everyday life to create a toolbox that can push all that aside, so that we can get to a place where we do feel so much more in control of our connection with our body, and not taking back control of our bodies, I think. So we're going to be looking at interactive activities and being honest and open with one another to get to a safer space where we're feeling more accepting of our bodies, which I'm really looking forward to, because I know that it's going to create some really interesting and powerful conversations with the women. So then in the afternoon, we're going to be having some fun in the studio, Helen, aren't we?
Yeah, so the whole event's going to be here. I'm in the centre of Wetherby, if anyone doesn't know, on Shambles Street. And so once Rachel has done her morning coaching, we're then going to be having a lovely lunch, aren't we?
Yes.
And then it's time with me. So the idea is that you bring along an outfit that you feel comfortable in, maybe an outfit that pushes your boundaries a little bit, see what you want to wear. You can wear clothes, you can wear something we could drape off your shoulder if you just wanted something more that's not revealing, or you could bring a bodysuit or lingerie, whatever you want, or a swimsuit, kimono, dressing gown, whatever it is. It's up to you. Like, make sure you feel happy. So I'll be doing a mini shoot with you all individually, and I will guide you through that, and show you how to pose and everything. And Rachel will be there to support you if you need her. And then there will be a group photograph at the end with us all, which I'm really looking forward to. And I don't know what else to say.
A little catwalk at the end. We shall see. We'll keep a few surprises back.
I was not going to mention that. Yeah, so there will be some little surprises, and like everything we're going to be doing is going to be uplifting and a really supportive, encouraging atmosphere with us two together.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. And one thing that we talk about a lot, and we haven't talked about this before we came live, so I'm just throwing this at you now, but is about how making sure that we follow the right people on social media that makes us feel good and that doesn't trigger negative thoughts. Who do you follow on social media? Anyone that comes to the kind of top of your mind that other people could go and check out that could give them some confidence boost?
There are lots. I have actually cut down on them myself because that I've been following loads and loads. I can't remember the names of them. I'll have to put them down. But there's lots of people that kind of show their everyday body. Oh, Felicity Hayward.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I love
Style
her.
Me Sunday.
Yeah.
I'll have to remember the names and put them down so that you can get them exactly. But they're people that are happy to show their normal bodies and how comfortable they are with it. And then also, like, a lot of them are showing, this is how I am sat with my stomach rolled over, but this is my next pose when I'm up like this and I'm twisting and I'm sucking it in and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and they're all me. So I follow some of those, and lots of lingerie brands, but that's for posing inspiration for me. But I'll have a think about the body confidence ones and let you know.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. I listened to a really, really good podcast the other day. It was Glennon Doyle's We Can Do Hard Things. And she had Sonia Renee Taylor, who's the author of What If You Loved Your Body? The Body is Not an Apology. I've not read her book yet, but I've added it to my list. The episode was called What If You Loved Your Body? And it was absolutely brilliant. I was just like making so many notes. It was so many moments of like, absolutely, she wanted to shout at her and say thank you, because it was all about that acceptance over absolute 100% body positive. You have to love yourself. It was about, hang on, let's just get to a place where we don't have to worry about our bodies and we can just enjoy life.
Something else.
Yeah. So that was a really, really good podcast. So I shall share that. And also, Women Don't Owe You Pretty is one of my favourite books by Florence Given. I think that's really empowering and helps women see all the crap that we've been fed over the years and how to let go of it.
Yeah, there's so much pressure on us all, isn't there?
Yeah, there really is. Yeah. I'd love to do a workshop with Rachel, getting everyone singing empowering songs. Sisters are doing it for themselves and we are family. That sounds like we'll add that to another project. Someone else has said time to rise up. Absolutely, it is time to rise up, ladies. It really is. Thank you so much. So if anybody wants to find out more information about coming on our workshop, go to subscribepage.com, the Body Confidence Workshop, but I will leave a link, and Helen will do the same in her group, so that if anyone wants more info, or just drop us a DM and we can, we're happy to chat about it as well. But it's on the 20th of February, so not long to go now, but there are a few spaces left, so it would be amazing to see you there.
I'll also have to make a little plug for, I have a photography exhibition coming up.
Yes.
Yes, it's just a little bit before, and I've got a gallery has asked me to host my own solo exhibition, and I've called it Empowering Her, and there'll be 22 to 24 pieces on the wall, and I'm going to just try and make it as exciting and inspiring as I can. So that's in Wetherby on it's running from the 11th of February to the 11th of March. But if you wanted to come to my preview evening, I've got a special like party night, I'm calling it, on the 10th, which is Friday the 10th. And it's invite only. So I need to send you an invitation if you'd like to come. It's on Church Street from 5 o'clock till late. Just drop me a message or put a comment underneath, and Rachel or I will pick that up and I'll post you out an invite. But there's going to be not cocktails, I lie, wine, cheese, a DJ, and I'm so excited to be hosting that. So
I can't wait. I can't wait to see all the gorgeous women in big prints everywhere,
including you, by the way.
Yes, yeah. And thank you, because you have pushed me out of my comfort zone. I mean, we have done, a lot of the time I do lots of lingerie, sexy lingerie posts, because that's what makes me feel good. But last time we did a shoot together, we did completely stripped back, naked photo shoot, and it was really empowering, and it showed me rolls and all, in all sorts of different positions that I wouldn't normally try. So thank you for pushing me out of my comfort zone. That was, for me, that was another step forward. I'm always trying to push myself to get to that next level of acceptance, and you are a big part of my journey. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Rachel.
Fabulous. It's so good to talk to you. Can't wait to come to the exhibition and to be working with you. And I love the fact that we're so aligned in what we're doing. It's brilliant.
Yeah, you too, Rachel. Mutual respect.
And your hair's looking gorgeous. I do know you've just been to the hairdressers. So
no, I did this myself this morning. Thank you.
It looks fabulous. Thank you. And if anyone has got any questions that they'd like to ask Helen or I, just send us a message or leave a message on the thread, and we will get back to you and catch up.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Speak soon. Thank you, everybody. Keep being fabulous.
Bye.
Bye.